Hi, welcome to our channel Good New. The lithography machine is the semiconductor industry's finest achievement. Because the US wants to take the lead in this field, it imposes strict constraints and sanctions on China and Russia. China has never had access to the most advanced EUV lithography equipment. Galaxy Core Incorporated's recently developed ARF lithography equipment is just one sort of DUV. ASML is confident in its capacity to master EUV lithography equipment production technology, asserting that even if the blueprints are made public, others will be unable to copy them. Many lithography machine behemoths know the difficulty of developing EUV lithography machines, thus they concentrate on low-end lithography machines rather of going all out for high-end EUV lithography machines. We also know that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues. Yesterday, the United States imposed severe fines on Micron, Russia's largest chipmaker. Russia has declared plans to build the world's most advanced EUV lithography machine, which may be more advanced than ASML's EUV lithography equipment. What is Russia's high-end lithography machine research and development strategy? Is it also advantageous to Huawei? Russia plans to develop advanced lithography equipment. Everyone is aware of the difficulties in manufacturing high-end EUV lithography equipment. Many people will present a flood of facts to highlight the challenges of building EUV lithography equipment. Only ASML can currently develop and produce EUV lithography machines in the world, but it also faces significant technological challenges. Russia plans to develop new EUV lithography equipment that will use X-ray technology and be capable of creating chips without the need of photomasks. The lithography machine's architecture and technology are fairly intricate, but three primary aspects determine the lithography machine's resolution: the constant K, the wavelength of the light source, and the numerical aperture of the objective lens. The shorter the wavelength, the higher the resolution. The modern EUV lithography equipment uses extreme ultraviolet light with a wavelength of 13.5 nanometers, which may be used to produce complex processes with dimensions of 7 nanometers or less. For example, 100,000 parts are used, 90% of the technology comes from top manufacturers throughout the world, and there are 5,000 suppliers, among other things. The four basic elements of the lithography machine need decades of technological precipitation and are not something that a country can manufacture on its own. However, we have always been limited by outdated notions. ASML, the sole manufacturer of EUV lithography equipment, uses deep and extreme ultraviolet light technology in the field of mid to high-end lithography machine technology. With a wavelength of 13.5 nanometers, the most intense extreme ultraviolet light EUV is suited for chip production at 7 nanometers and below. Russia, on the other hand, has taken a different approach. It intends to use X-rays rather than extreme ultraviolet light to produce semiconductor equipment akin to EUV lithography tools. What is the true situation? According to the source, Russia aims to invest 670 million rubles in the first phase, with the Moscow Institute of Electronic Technology taking on the high-end lithography machine project. This lithography machine is known as a maskless X-ray lithography machine, and it is designed to perform at the same level as an EUV lithography machine. This is usually true. Russia has made significant research investments, and the country's major scientific institutes are still involved in the project. Most people, though, think Russia's move is foolish. Despite the difficulty of producing EUV lithography machines, ASML exists today thanks to the collaboration of dozens of EUV-associated nations. ASML's EUV lithography equipment accounts for just 10% of the independent technology, the rest is imported. And today, the neighbor next door is like a little boat on its own, unable to accept technical aid from so many countries. In addition, how many companies will provide technology in the current environment? As a result, you are solely responsible for yourself. The concern is how certain Russia's self-developed high-end lithography equipment is, as well as what technological advantages it has. What are the advantages of Russia's creation of X-ray lithography equipment? X-rays must be included. The better resolution of X-ray lithography equipment is defined by the smaller wavelength of X-rays compared to severe ultraviolet light, which may reach 0.01 nanometers to 10 nanometers. When it comes to characterizing microchip circuits, it provides additional technological advantages. Furthermore, the X-ray lithography machine lacks a photomask, eliminating the need to re-engrave the circuit diagram from the normal EUV lithography machine's photomask onto the silicon wafer. As a consequence, R&D expenses and production constraints will be significantly reduced. The last issue is that Russia has a large inventory of X-ray equipment, meaning that Russia is not starting from scratch. It is anticipated that just a little amount of promotional and financial help would be necessary to extend research and development of X-ray lithography equipment, and that actual results will be reachable. As a result, the advantages of Russia's innovation of X-ray lithography equipment are clear. If there is no absolute certainty, the other side is unlikely to set such a lofty goal. Russia should also be aware of how difficult it is to manufacture EUV lithography machines. ASML's claim that others are unable to generate public drawings is not necessarily bragging. Even though they have a large number of things in front of them, they may be unable to create them unless they have the requisite equipment, facilities, and technological accumulation. It's as if each meal comes with an ingredient list on the packaging, but even if the ingredient list is made public, can the same flavor be duplicated without learning the craft? It's possible that only one substance will be removed. Russia, on the other hand, aims to start over, set aside the component list to construct its own formula, and pave a new road using its own technology. With these advantages and enough trust, it is not difficult to attain. Is Russia's proposal advantageous to Huawei? ASML will almost certainly feel unexpected. On the one hand, it must compete with China's growing lithography machine industry while also capturing the low-end lithography machine market. In contrast, Russia is rushing to catch up with competition EUV lithography equipment technologies. Once successful, ASML is one of a kind. The situation will become completely destabilized. We don't care if Russia's X-ray lithography machine research and development results in a final breakthrough. At the very least, Russia has a clear research and development goal. This is the direction we will pursue in the future. The current market situation has made neighbors recognize that essential technologies cannot be acquired or traded and must be developed independently. So, does Russia have a technological advantage over Huawei in terms of developing X-ray lithography machines? Huawei is in the same situation as them, and is specially protected by legislation governing the outside market. The targeted chip cannot be produced, either wait for the rules to be broken or use a production line that does not use American technology to produce chips for it. On the bright side, if Russia is successful in developing X-ray lithography equipment and an industrial chain to produce comparable chips, Huawei may be a large winner. If the two parties can collaborate, Huawei will achieve a breakthrough in self-developed chips and re-enter the global market, which will benefit the firm. To conclusion, Russia's semiconductor chip business is undeveloped, yet this does not imply a lack of scientific and technological capabilities. Russia, as we all know, has the finest mathematics talents in the world. Huawei's Russian R&D center has hired several well-known Russian mathematicians. It is widely claimed that Huawei's breakthrough in 3G technology was the product of the single-RAN algorithm developed by a Russian mathematician's little brother. The most recent Russian news is on high-end lithography equipment. It does not start with extreme ultraviolet EUV, but rather with lower wavelength X-rays. If Huawei's chips are a tremendous success, it may not be difficult for them to return to the manufacturing line with the help of the next-door neighbor and Huawei. Although the industry is skeptical about Russia's EUV lithography equipment research and development, it is not impossible for Russia, which has a plethora of technological capacity. At the same time, I believe that if Russia properly invests in R&D, many other nations, including China, will join Russia's R&D of EUV lithography machines, shattering Europe's and the United States' monopoly on the most sophisticated chip technology. Thanks for watching in this video. You can add your ideas or suggestions below. Please keep following our channel and like our videos.